welcome to Jimmy Kimmel Live. I am your guest host, Diego Luna. I come from a galaxy far, far away called Mexico. You may know me as Cassian Andor from Star Wars, Felix Gallardo in Narcos, or as that guy your mom thinks is Pedro Pascal. I feel honored to have been invited by Jimmy to host his show for the next 4 days. Yeah, I've always dreamed of doing this. In fact, many times I found myself making films just to have an excuse to come here and promote them. And now I'm here with nothing to promote. You know, I've worked with the best Mexican actors and artists. But who knew that because of this show, I was finally gonna work with the most talented, the most handsome, the most interesting Mexican alive. Guillermo, carajo. Guillermo, you have any tips for me?
Just have fun, okay? Be yourself.
Okay.
You charming, sweet, sexy, good looking. You got this. Take it away.
I've never hosted a talk show before, but I will try my best. English is not my first language, so I hope you guys will help me if I get, what's the word, deported. You know, Jimmy was very smart to hand his show over to me just as Trump decided to go crazy dropping bombs over the weekend. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. Good luck. I hope the fishing is going great, man. We have a lot of fun stuff planned for this week. We booked some amazing guests, we taped some great sketches, and we'll get to all of that, I promise. But tonight, I want to address an important issue that is happening here in Los Angeles and all around the United States. With everything going on in this country around immigration and authoritarian policies of Donald Trump, it is no small thing that a Mexican is hosting such an important show. I know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I really hope not to f it up. The first time that I voluntarily set foot in the territory known as the United States, I was 20 years old, after the success of Y Tu Mamá También. Yeah. I started traveling to California for work, and Los Angeles became a place that I visited constantly. Not only for my work, but also because I loved it. I spent great part of my earnings on laundry services and alcohol here. A lot of my brain cells have died in this city. I met people that, to this day, are very close to my heart. Great things happened to me here. In fact, my son was born here. Yes. I have an Angelino son, the only real Mexican-American of the family, and I'll always be grateful to Los Angeles for that. And every Angelino I know has always loved to show me their Los Angeles, their neighborhood, their food, their many gluten-free bakeries, their new Teslas. Well, that was before Elon Musk became a MAGA space Nazi. Yeah. I spent long seasons working here, back when people still made movies in LA. Yeah. Until I felt alone and homesick. And just as I felt that, I immediately found a community that came out to support me, to show me their love and to remind me that something holds us together, our common roots. Yeah, the people that lifted me up were mostly people that had left their countries to find a new life, or the sons and daughters of immigrants that had come here in order to work and build a healthy, enjoyable, and dignified life away from their place of origin. A movement of that scale, that's not natural. Not unless something is very, very wrong in the place you're coming from. Nobody leaves their land if it's not because their survival depends on it. Yeah. Nobody leaves their past behind just for fun. But you know what? All the people that I met shared an unspoken gratitude to this country, a country that opened its doors to them. And the most beautiful thing of all is that all these immigrants brought their stories with them. They brought their loyalties, their love, their traditions, always with the openness to adopt new ones, to grow, and to complement each other in this vast cultural exchange. There are millions of beautiful stories, all products of that exchange. I met a couple in downtown LA that makes the most delicious Korean tacos. I mean, come on, Korean tacos. A Korean woman falls in love with a Mexican, they have sex, then they have kids and a restaurant, like kimchi plus mole. That's an LA story. Not far from there, Filipino and Hispanic people fought hand in hand in the fields to create the first agricultural workers' union. This changed the reality of the thousands of people responsible for feeding this country. The point is that Los Angeles is interesting and admirable precisely because of the cultural exchange. Thanks to the generosity, thanks to the generosity and the openness that surge from it. All because people from different cultures and realities agreed to give each other a chance and build something remarkable together. This place is a powerful example of what's possible, of what can be achieved when we put empathy first. Yes. I have never been able to fully understand how it is that someone like Donald Trump is able to acquire this level of power. I always struggle to understand how his hate speech can take root in a country whose nature has always been a welcoming one. Today, many people are feeling persecuted. Far too many people live in fear. Fear of taking their kids to school or going to places where they earn an honest living. These people, they're your neighbors, your friends, immigrants. This is very unfair, and let me tell you why. The multiple times that this country has had to rebuild itself, immigrants were always there to pick up the slack. Earlier this year, when LA burned, immigrants, workers risked their lives to stop the flames. They are the ones who build this country. They feed it. They nurture and teach its children. They care for the elderly. They work in construction, hospitality. They run kitchens. They're technicians, merchants, athletes, drivers, farmers. They pay a lot of taxes, a lot of them, with their jobs. Yeah. Papers or no papers. In 2022, undocumented immigrants contributed around $96.7 billion worth of taxes. But that is something that the Trump administration doesn't want you to know. There are a lot of lies flying around about immigrants, but I'm sure you have more than one story that can attest to the contrary. Talk about it, share it. That helps. Today, they need to know that they're not alone. These have been a dark few weeks. It is not acceptable, nor it's normal, to separate families. Violence and terror are not okay. Immigrants need to know that their struggle is yours as well. Politicians have been dosing on this problem because it's easier than acknowledging it. Because this country benefits from the work of immigrants, but refuses to recognize their importance. That is what needs to change. It's about acknowledging the work of millions and how unfair it is that they have to live in hiding. The only solution is clear now, and it's been clear for decades. Give them a path to legal certainty. This is what your neighbors really deserve, to be fully welcome in this country where they already belong. To every citizen watching this, I encourage you to call your representatives. Tell them what you think. This is the number for Congress. It only takes a minute. And if you want to support those affected or who may need assistance, There are some great organizations that are doing exactly that, like Public Counsel and Kids in Need of Defense. I urge you to learn more about these organizations. Thank you for listening. I hope what I said inspires you to get involved or look at this from a different point of view. And if my comments have angered you, I just want you to know it was all written by Guillermo. Yeah, blame him.